Familiar with what Sang-Gu Lee and his students were doing with Sage with a application for Android that was doing linear algebra and a variety of screens or pages, and they were all connecting to a Sage server running at their university. Nice little extra keyboard to do all the sort of Sage things you would want to do in Sage. And Sang-Gu invited me to Korea about a month or so ago and gave a presentation at their annual meeting there. They had a Sage Days that I was part of. And I'm really impressed with all the different things they've been doing, especially trying to target mobile devices. So I pestered Sang-Gu for several days to get him to come, and we're very happy to have them here. So we'll hear from his students, and he'll take part in his own presentation. So we'll have Hee-Dong Young first, and then we'll cycle through the other two.
Thank you, Professor. I am Grand Major of one of the Sage servers from Yunnan University. I am here to learn more about Sage. Since I only know the present of Sage, my advisor helped my presentation to explain the past and future of Sage in Korea. Thank you.
Okay. I first met the Sage at the Joint Mass meeting at San Diego in 2008. And this is a photo that I took on January 7th. And since then, I downloaded the program and I played with it a couple of times. And I found there are a couple of others who were working on it at that time already. And then Drake at KAIST and Han-Gyu Lee at Chosun University was them on the list of the developers. Okay. And yeah, we tried to, and we set up the SKKU Sage homepage in 2008, and we succeeded in localization of Sage with one of my students, Jin Young Park, during the winter break of 2008. And we have learned the Mass One server, Sage server since then. Okay, this is the code that we tried to localize the Sage in Korea version, and then but it was I didn't find much attraction on it before. I found it has a function that we can just send the working order to Sage server, then he will send me back the answers. So we tried to do it with our normal cell phone. So we just give some comment here to my server, so to get the output that displayed on my cell phone. So since we found those functions, so we tried to do something with it. So after we got some materials, we invited Dan Drake at KAIST to discuss the status of Sage in April of 2009. And he talked about the Sage developers groups and how you are doing and what you are doing, and what's the current status of the work. Among those discussions, and we found that there are lots of works are going on, and we were trying to find what we can do, make a contribution in it. So I was thinking of using it and at first, and then in order to do so, I was thinking what I'm supposed to do. So in this kind of new learning environment, what we can do better on teaching of the subjects that we are teaching at school. So we found we need some new content that we can use for adopting SAGE. And also the mobile math, we found some possibility of mobile mathematics with SAGE, and the smart learning with the SAGE as well. Since I'm managing the educational website of International Linear Algebra Society for the last 5-6 years, so I wanted to add those new ideas in it. Also, Korea will have the ICME 12, International Congress of Math Education, in the second weeks of July, next month, in Seoul. And also, IS meetings will be held in Providence, Rhode Island next year, and ICM 2014 will be hosted in Seoul in 2014. So I wanted to do something that, to show, to present those meetings I will attend. So I tried to. We set up the mobile server, Math3 3G server at my school, and we practiced the several things, and it worked okay with Mr. Kim, Hyungwon Kim, there since 2010. And we developed the SAGE modules for linear algebra teaching, and we collected it for my class to get prepared for teaching linear algebra with the SAGE. So after we got something settled down, and we decided to teach our linear algebra class with the SAGE. But still I need to work for adopting SAGE in my class. So we have to customize SAGE in order to respond to student need for as much as we can. And, so some changes were made. First, I need a lecture note, so I prepared the textbook, which is in press now, and with the basic theory of the linear algebra and SAGE comment and some other outputs with it. So we now have a linear algebra with the SAGE book in press. It will be appeared after the summer, and in Korean. But I also wrote lab book for calculus, laboratory manual for calculus in English. It was published a couple of months ago, so it's in use at my school, and the faculty members of my school are writing an English calculus book with SAGE now, but it's not easy. It takes more time than we thought to have its identity and originality as well, particularly in English. So anyway, so after we have some control of the situation, we wanted to have a meeting of users of SAGE in Korea. So most of the SAGE users in South Korea were gathered in April this year, and then Gwangju and we found that most schools were using SAGE here and there, Incheon, Suwon, and Chuncheon, and also we found some other names, Korean names in United States here and there, and then we have a SAGE Day 37 in Seoul, Korea, this April, and Rob Beecher was an invited speaker. there, and Dan Drake also gave a nice explanation on SAGEs. We have learned a lot from this meeting, and many of the participants on SAGE users were impressed on the ability of the SAGE. Actually, we only used a few functions, but we heard from there are many other features that we can use it. So yeah, we started to practice it. Now we all realized that it really has capability that can be adapted fully in Korea. So after the SAGE Day 37, and more mathematicians and math educators started to use. So more servers can be found in Korea now. Okay, so for TIC, so more content developed, and so we are expecting, and at least at the University of Mass Education, and which I'm in charge of as a chairman for the division in Korean Math Society now. Yeah, we all had the discussions also, but first the textbook and actually the classroom test was done for linear algebra, and the over year, and particularly for this semester, for spring semester, I was dedicated to do it, and we found very positive answers. And also, so for the calculus, those same task was in progress for calculus and the others as well. But yeah, calculus will be the next steps. But also, I found that for the high school level, so we may adopt the SAGE for the introductory calculus class, calculus with SAGE as well. The situations are a little different, so yeah, we may have a better chance for the introductory calculus class with SAGE. The one reason is I recently got had a project from Ministry of Education for writing high school storytelling model textbook. So I chose the calculus as a subject. So I'm checking it, writing a content like before, and SAGE and comment and others can be added. So make it easy for our students to learn the introductory level of calculus. So I may make suggestions to the Minister of Education for using SAGE. And now, since after the SAGE Day 37, we have more understanding of this open source software. So many are understanding it could be possible. So I should make example and documentation as a sample textbook to persuade them. Yeah. Anyway, as a conclusion, yeah, we have been through the misty days, and more content and good books will help those who like to use SAGE. And my school actively use more SAGE to produce better prepared students. Since we didn't use, actually Korea doesn't, at high school level, they never used the graphing calculator or other technology tool for math education. They just introduced it, but it was never forced and never really, the exam doesn't reflect nothing was reprinted in the exam. So actually students don't have to do it, just they know there are something, but that was it. But now they can really use it. There is a tool that they can just make a connection to practice it and visualize things and do the computation. So we'll help other faculty members who like to use Sage for teaching linear algebra and calculus at the first stage. And at the high school level, we are working on it. So we think we may succeed to push it, and then we will make some changes. And we are planning to upgrade our mobile linear algebra tools as well. Okay? And the next talks on linear algebra content and visualization by Kyung-won Kim and use of Sage in teaching linear algebra will be given. And before I finish off the first talk of the series, and the ECME 12 will be held in 2-3 weeks from now. So we hope you have interest in it, and I have a couple of souvenirs for you. If you have interest, I can give it to you. And I see M2014 will be sold as well. So for last couple of years and the next couple of years, many of the Koreans got attention on mathematics area and math education as well. Some investment and has been given. So and newspapers started to post articles on mathematics, which was not often. Not many math articles in major newspapers, but now we often see the articles on math and math education in major newspapers. So the math professors now are more obligated to do something to answer for those attentions. And thank you, and Mr. Kim will continue for the session.
I have a quick question. You said you tried Sage, you had Sage test in linear algebra,
Yes.
right? What was your impression about, you've heard some of the other talks about using
Yes.
Sage in linear algebra.
That's the talk
Oh,
that I'm
okay.
going to give after that.
Okay.
Third one is I will talk all about what I have done.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. My name is Kyung Kim. I now start next presentation. Linear algebra is an important subject for most of your college students. In this talk, we introduce the visualization of linear algebra concept and the full Sage content for introductory linear algebra, which are developed with Sage. This is the content of this book. We'll start this talk with Korean version of Sage. We have localized Sage in Korean for our students, and we have managed this method Sage server since 2009. We have used this Sage content for our class before Sage server is developed. We now compute the standard works by only using copy and paste feature of Sage server. After that, we embed Sage server on each published data of our notebook, like this figure. this idea works well for our students. We now introduce full-stage content for introductory linear algebra. We have released various e-learning content of linear algebra through our server. But most of them contain Java or Flash tools. In addition, we have made stage content of linear algebra over the last year. It was based on 18 topics of introductory linear algebra like this. Students can learn main concepts of linear algebra using these public instructions and algorithms. For example, the following figures show sage comment to solve system of linear equations using Cramer loop and to diagonalize a matrix. This sage comment was released on this website. And we added sage button like this in this web content. If you click this button, you can use the sage search without the login process. Here is how to use. The first step is just to change the numbers or functions and evaluate them. And the second step is to click the publish button. And the last step is to put up the published web address in the personal spaces using social network system. As the following figures, you can check the learning content posted on the Facebook. Also, you can use it on Twitter. In addition, we have done some work on the visualization of linear algebra using Sage. Visualization can help students understanding of linear algebra more easily. We can understand linear algebra, linear transformation with Flash tool, or we can understand an eigenvalue and each eigenvector with Java tool like this. In addition, we could visualize some linear algebra concepts and their applications using Sage. The visualization is as the following. You can use whole content at this address. Each visualization data is also released on each address. Students can learn the theory with this visualization content like this, and they can see the Sage comments about it simultaneously. And then they can directly evaluate given comments and simulate the result dynamically. Now, we introduce some examples of the visualization of linear algebra concept using Sage. Everything is published at each web address. This figure shows vector iterations of plane and linear iterations. And this figure shows volume of parallel pipe and linear combination and each application RGB color space. and we could visualize a concept of linear transformation easily. This figure shows dilation, and this figure shows geometric transformation. And this figure shows eigenvalues and its eigenvectors. And this figure shows Markov chain with some data table. And this figure shows least squares line about given 4 points. Finally, this figure shows various application of linear transformation. Now, this conclusion. After learning traditional linear algebra contents and solving problems, students can simulate similar problems using SAGE. Students can save time to learn or memorize most of SAGE comments and programming languages from this web content. We are assisted Professor Lee to make these contents and adapted it to our linear algebra class in 2011 to 2012. These whole contents are freely available, and you can also use this to save contents and visualization of concepts at another SAGE server. Thank you very much for your attention.
Any questions?
question.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, this is absolutely amazing, the work that you guys have been doing. So are you continuing to post more content? That was for 2011, 2012.
Yes.
So are you continuing to work on this and post more
Yes,
stuff?
sure. Yeah,
Okay.
I will teach linear algebra, so I keep making whatever it is needed.
Wow, that's so great. I love these examples and everything you posted up.
Thank you. Then I will continue to tell about how I taught linear algebra with SAGE. And I brought a couple of presents for you to add the suggestions for me. Okay. First, my university, I'm at Seonggyungan University. And my university is the oldest university in Korea since 1398. It's the Royal University of Joseon Dynasty. And today, we may review what we have done on teaching of linear algebra with SAGE. And, I'm interested in the use of technology in my teaching. Since many of us are using a PowerPoint file or PDF file in our class already, so it is so natural and easy to show the visualization and computational process in our class. So we found the SAGE is the most effective tool to use in the class because we don't have to install the programs or students don't have to install to do simulating. Just we click it and go to the website and just evaluate, then it shows the computation and the visualization of the linear algebra concept. We had the technology for the mathematics computation for long, like this, Jusan, or this counting load. But it was a long ago. Since then, we haven't used any tool for a couple of 100 years. But now with the SAGE and the cell phone, and we found a way to use and mobilize the tool to do computation or tool to do mathematics. We found a possibility. So So I tried to adapt the SAGE in my class with the traditional textbook. I used the traditional textbook and I taught it, I work and with the SAGE. In those processes, I developed some of those tools of SAGE to make to put a better understanding of the lineage concept to my student. But it was but with the traditional textbook, the SAGE tool was just a kind of supplement. You see. Students just don't have to do it. If I ask, then they do it. But the exam doesn't reflect those work. So some of the students who did not care much about and do the same thing like they did before, they got the better grade. So it wasn't that I intended. So actually I needed a good book, new book, new lineage book with the SAGE in it. So we can just go through it with SAGE in between. And also students have to read it in the textbook, and also the exam should represent some of those work. So those who worked hard naturally get a better grade at the end. So I wrote and used those preprint, my lecture note in my lineage class until actually our semester is not over. This week, actually this Friday is the last day of our class, and next week is the final exam week in Korea. So actually my semester is not over, but my student took a final exam yesterday with my teaching assistant. But anyway, particularly for this spring semester, we went through all with my textbook. So my preprint, which had been edited previously, and so I was using the visualization as much as I can in class. And I also write down there. And also I try to use any of the possible devices as much as the student can do it. They don't have to go to the PC lab or their home to do computation. So, and also I recorded most of my lectures by myself. And this lecture table, which I designed in 2003, as we have been used it. Here I can record what I'm doing in my class. I think these, so without anyone's help. So it wasn't that difficult to record it. So I added my lecture in the first each section, and with the theories in it, and also I added some examples of SAGE and with the code, and also on the exam, and student also I gave them a chance to present their solutions after it was approved. So the presentation was also added here. And I added the QR code here, so students just can go there and do the mathematical computation, not by hand. And also I asked them to do their homework, and they do homework by hand for 2x2 or 3x3 matrix. But I also asked them to submit the homework, the similar problem for the size of 7x7 or 8x8. So some students do it by hand, but most of students choose to use some kind of tool to fill out the homework, to submit it. So I recorded it for each lecture. So if you go to the YouTube, then you will see it, and you can see it here. So So like this, if you go to this address, and then it automatically goes to the website here. So we did the examples like this. So student just change the number or size of matrices to get the output out of it. And I developed. If you go this website, then you may find the developed materials for linear algebra. For example, if we go here and something like this, and so here, if we learn this, then we have the three vectors here that makes a triangle, and then this the determinant of this matrix with this point give us the area like this. If you change it, the number is like this. And we have a different matrix and different triangle and different area of this triangle like this. So student can go and use it like this. And, okay. And also the most of the comment from the textbook. So I went through it from chapter 1 to chapter 10. So when it is when we can use the Sage command to do the computation simple, then I collected those in here and there. So with the explanation, I gave the Sage code there. So student can just make copy and go to where? Go to the website. Here. Yeah. So they can just do computation. Just make copy and go to any of the mobile cell or single cell that to do computation. Okay. Okay. So there are many others here too. Those are what I have made because. The how to use Sage and what's the command and how to effectively use this to visualize the concept of linear algebra, and there are many things, and also but the manuals and quick difference in English version and Korean version as well, and decomposition. So just I keep adding it. So there are. Okay, so this spring semester in linear algebra class, and also in addition to my lecture, and after each of the chapter, and the students submitted their homeworks, so I graded them and I asked them to fix it so after we have the finalized solution, then I have the volunteer to explain their own solutions, which was approved. So it was posted in Sage in YouTube. So if you go show okay, and so yeah, if you go to YouTube and search SKKU CLA contemporary linear algebra or SGE, then you will find many of those. So this address also has yeah. Okay. Next. So with over this old counting load, which was advanced tool at that time, now we have the another tool which has a much more powerful functions, and JSON, I didn't know this the function like this. We tried to build up the mobile server by ourselves in S3, but now this Sage Cell has better functions, and so I started to use it, and I replaced the previous my mobile server information to in here, and so students can when go back to the problem session, and then when they solve it, they can easily check their solutions, and they can do the larger size problems to submit. Each student has their own problems. I don't have to make the problem. I just ask them just to make a reasonable size problems that we cannot solve by hand. So they do use it. And also, so after those experiences, I tried to combine those linear algebra the tools and smartphone applications. So I tried to make some smartphone applications that reflects what we have developed. So now I tried to the new book. I tried to add all possible new functions in the textbook. So web content, web address, and Java, and Sage, or movie clips, and Sage, and content, Sage code, Sage cell, and QR code, and I tried to give emphasis on not just listening my lectures, but also I want the student can talk each other on mathematics and solving problems and the questions, whatever, and finalize and the student presentation of what they have done, etc. So I made, and also I had to make a new homework problems, not from the old textbook. If I stay in the old textbook, then students don't do anything, they lose their interest on using Sage. So I always ask them to do the small computation by hand, but I also ask to submit the large size problems. Because even for the linear algebra is the matrix diagonalization is the key concept to use linear algebra. That's one of the main reasons to learn it, to simplify the problem and to make all the computation simpler. But for even 5 by 5 matrix, you cannot find eigenvalue by any means. By hand is impossible. So there's no quadratic forms or whatever. So without the eigenvalue, you cannot find eigenvector, you cannot do nothing. So actually, without a tool, what they are learning is just useless in the real life. So they need a tool. And that's what so then Sage can answer for that question. So I keep asking students to think about the large size problem, and how you can handle it after you understand all the algorithms and things. And we needed the new style midterm and final exams. And I tried to add more mobile functions in the book. And also, and after that, I found that the student motivation has been and confidence and their real ability to solve, to dealing with any type of any size of problem has been raised, and their satisfaction went to very high at this time. Actually, it was very high 5-6 years ago. It was I made the highest score of whole university in my teaching of linear algebra. But I lose some. There are some changes. But I don't know how to make another jump on it. But say it's at this semester, those trial and errors of a couple of years, but all the combination of it, and actually students really were able to understand the concept, were able to solve the problem by hand, but also whatever problem they faced, they were able to handle it. And you may download some of the smartphone applications from Google Play or Apple stores by searching SKKU matrix or matrix theory. and also now after that, after linear algebra, and calculus is also the other important course that mathematics department should care. So we always have concern on it, so we had for the lab class we tried to use the technology tool. So we used to have a Maple, but I started to show the Sage to our students. So we needed the lab book, so we made the lab book, and that lab book was in process of making an ebook. So we made it almost half of them, and we will be done soon. And so webbook, you see the webbook like this, then if you click it, then it can connect to the server, to computation in common book. So it will be done, and you will see it at the Apple Store sooner or later. In this series of talks, we introduced how and what we have developed on Sage for teaching of linear algebra, and we believe now we have an affordable and inspiring customer for linear algebra as well as other math courses. So I think a big change is from now on. If we keep working, then I believe we will match the need of what students or other teachers want to have. Okay. At last, we have this year ICME 12. Next year, IRIS, I'm one of the organizers of the educational session at the next year's IRIS meeting at Providence. So I wish to have some of you Sage developers and teachers at the meeting to share at the meeting too, and also ICM 2014 is there, so that you can definitely meet me there. So I invite you, and there are some differences. I think that's good. Thank you very much.
Any questions for Sengul or other speakers?
Yes.
So you said something about having to have new types of exams.
Yes.
So how do you sort of test for the concepts that you're? I mean, how does having Sage in the classroom affect how you give exams?
Yes. We talked about it many times, and the way that we found was give some Sage comment about the 10 to 20 comment on the top of the exam list, and I make the exam, so how, and ask them to solve the problems with those, the comment.
You sort of say, tell us which Sage commands you would use.
If I ask them to find the Jordan canonical form, then how you define a matrix and how you give the comment, something like that. Just the box, fill the box here and there.
And are these online tests where they
Here,
have a computer?
what do you like to have? This is a present. You can choose. This is what I made.
So were these tests online then, or on paper and pencil, and they would just?
Paper and pencil.
Okay.
So you
for
physically
exam.
write down what Sage commands
Right.
you would do to.
Right. Okay.
To fill the blanks here and there.
Right. Okay.
Not,
Right.
don't have to memorize everything.
Yeah.
The answers are all in the page, but they have to know how
Put which one together?
Yeah,
Okay.
you put together. Any other questions?
All right.
Here's a present. You can. This is a card that I made because to make some more motivation. I can. There are 42 cards, so and each of us can have 2. This is gold plate, the Q12.
So are those the famous